Welcome back to AJHD, the podcast where real people make unreal decisions and we read them out loud so you can feel better about your own life. Today's episode is stacked with chaotic energy. We've got a woman who crop dusted her way into an existential crisis,
a Christmas ruined by DNA kits,
a marriage torched by a teenage flasher,
and a petty revenge so poetic it deserves a slow clap. It's giving therapy bills, restraining orders, and what the hell were you thinking?
True stories, zero filters, pure chaos. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a today I fucked up. Today I fucked up by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas. Here's the original story. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it'd be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today, my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gifts at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell that she was still flustered. Later, she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids needs to take it, since we will all have the same results, and to resell the extra kits to save money. Little thoughts real quick?
That's such a boomer thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
And also very uneducated of them.
It sounds very
Innocent.
uneducated, yeah.
Maybe not uneducated,
Well, it
but
sounds a little shady.
like they're doing a cover-up. I was
Like
thinking
the mom, yeah.
I was thinking the mom was just ignorance is bliss.
Oh,
Like,
no, the mom started freaking out when she saw 6 DNA kits in her living room and her 3 kids. Yeah.
Now in a bad way, like a cover-up. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So we explained to her how there are actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later, she tried to convince us that only one of us kids needs to take it, since we will all have the same results, and to resell the extra kits. Fast forward.
Who's buying?
One of the sisters.
Who's buying a resale?
Yeah. Didn't work out. Dad never came back. Lightly used. So check this out. Fast forward. Our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who has a different dad. Yeah. So that's kind of where it goes. And then there's a bunch of Reddit comments, and then it comes to an update. Thank you so much for all the love and support. My sister's brother, and I have not yet decided if we're going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we still love each other, and our parents are our parents no matter what.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking kicker.
I can't wait.
Christmas isn't ruined. My fuck up actually turned into a Christmas miracle. It turns out my oldest sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. Yeah.
My heart.
They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night, she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us all for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget, and yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone. P.S. Sorry my mom isn't a whore. No, you're not my dad. I didn't put any comments because that whole story was just so wholesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps.
Had you in the first half, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. I'm kind of choked up.
Right.
Honestly, that's really, really, really sweet.
Love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Tugging at my heartstrings.
You're up.
I just realized I'm not in frame. Today we have a situation titled My Girlfriend's Pregnant, but I'm a woman. My 29 female girlfriend, 27 female of 4 years, just told me that she's pregnant. Plot twist, I'm a woman, so it can't be mine. But she swears that she didn't cheat. So what do I do?
Juicy.
Buckle up, guys. This one had Reddit spinning in circles, pulling out every plot twist known to mankind. The post is short, just that brutal gut punch of a question, but the comment section is absolute chaos. So what we've gathered from hundreds of theories and reactions is the most obvious and the most upvoted theory is that she cheated, plain and simple. A bunch of commenters pointed out that 13 weeks pregnant typically means conception happened around 11 weeks, since pregnancy is dated from the last menstrual cycle, not the act of conception. So yeah, unless OP's girlfriend pulled off the second coming of Christ, someone with sperm was definitely involved.
Yeah.
So the crowd wasn't satisfied leaving it at just that. Some offered some alternate scenarios, being that she was assaulted and hadn't told anybody, which is pretty unfortunately common. She secretly went to a sperm bank and didn't communicate that with her, which I'm sure has happened, but that seems pretty.
Partner of 4 years.
That seems
Seems a little unlikely.
it seems
Surprise, we're pregnant.
That seems unhinged. Well, I don't think it's impossible, but she has a rare medical condition or tumor that caused a false positive.
Okay.
I would be interested in knowing if she was experiencing any physical attributes of being the doctor somehow screwed up.
Right.
That's if
Yeah.
there's anything I know
Right. About doctors screwing up.
about doctors screwing up. So some of the other comments got pretty wild. They were saying maybe it's a virgin birth type situation, asexual reproduction like in lizards. Science says no. Reddit says maybe. Someone suggested a Hallmark style twist with betrayal, redemption, and a surprise custody battle.
Oh gosh.
Then there was a haunting comment. People in denial will lie so hard they start to believe it.
This is very true.
The OP had chimed in a few times and clarified that her girlfriend had seemed genuinely devastated and confused. She said she hadn't been with a man in 5 years since college. OP even admitted she wanted to believe her. She wouldn't be asking Reddit if this was just a black and white situation. The comments also made something very clear. No matter how emotional or sincere the girlfriend seems, something did happen, obviously.
For sure.
You don't just accidentally get pregnant.
You don't just wake up pregnant.
And if she isn't coming clean, there's a problem no matter what, because she's lying.
Right.
The post, unfortunately, didn't get a super clear resolution. It was locked, archived, and left afloat in Reddit limbo. No update, no follow-up, just a relationship likely shattered the whole internet, and everybody is screaming at them. She obviously cheated at you.
Right.
While a tiny, hopeful minority, probably like us, whispered. So what do you think? Is there any chance this could have happened without cheating? Have you ever been hit with a reveal so wild it didn't feel real?
Didn't feel real.
Feel real?
I didn't even pre-think of this one, but so when I was younger, I was in love with this girl so much. Her name was Maria, and like she was amazing. And I had found out that she was being pretty shady. And I like cornered her once, and I was like, are you cheating on me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, ooh, like taking it back because you expect the lie. And she was like, but I'm cheating on my husband with you. And I was just like, like mic dropped me. I was like 19.
Yeah.
I think she was as well. Like we're pretty much, but yeah.
The hit him with the plot twist.
It was a very much plot twist.
Yeah. Drop your stories in our inbox or DMs if you have a Reddit rabbit hole you want us to dive into next. Send it our way if you have any stories similar.
If you've gotten pregnant in your sleep without anyone's help, we would also like to know. I'm sure some doctors would like to know.
Ghost impregnation.
Everybody's seen Scary Movie.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. You're so funny.
All right, my turn. The title is My Husband Told Me Our Daughter's Friend Flashed Him and I Kicked Him Out. So this one's messy in all the worst ways. We've got trust, jealousy, and a confession that blew up everything. Here's the full story exactly as it was posted. July 1st, 2025. This was like 2 weeks ago.
Love a current story.
Yeah, this is ongoing. No, actually, it's not, but sorry if you guys see me posting in other subs. It keeps getting removed. So like, I'm already like, okay.
I love one of those.
The last couple of weeks, my husband has been very quiet and not sleeping well. I've asked him a couple of times if he's okay, and he said yes, but I could tell something was bothering him. On Saturday, he said he needs to talk to me, and he burst into tears. I made us a cup of tea and sat down with him. He just blurted it out and said Ava, which is our daughter's friend, had been coming on to him, and he doesn't know what to do. He said it started when he made a cake for her 18th birthday party. She messaged him saying she got his number from our daughter and thank you for the cake. She then sent a lot of photos of herself in the dress she wore for the party. He just replied saying it looked like a fun party. She then messaged again asking if he could look at her car for her as it was making a funny noise. Yeah. She came around and he looked at it and said it was a break. He told me this at the time, so he wasn't hiding anything. She came around when our daughter was home, but I wasn't. And she went inside while my husband worked on the car outside. When it was done, she came out alone and said she had no money on her. And he said, that's fine, just bring it around whenever or give it to our daughter. She then said she can pay another way. And in his words, flashed me. And I said, I've got to go, and went inside, closing the door.
I'm uncomfy.
Yeah. This is like a dad on his daughter's friend.
You are gonna get this poor man in trouble who's just trying to.
Yeah. And this is his wife writing. So
Okay.
that, you know what I mean? It's not even him. So I went inside, closing the door. I read through all the messages and he never replied to any of them after this incident. And that afternoon, she messaged him saying, thanks for doing my car for me. You're cute when you're shy.
Ew.
She's messaged him hundreds of times since, asking if he's alone, asking for lifts, asking if she thinks or if he thinks she's pretty, and she sent loads of pics from fully clothed to fully nude.
That's disgusting. You're gonna get this man in trouble.
My husband has said he doesn't know whether to reply, to talk to her parents, to talk to me. He said he's scared he's going to ruin our daughter's life if this comes out. I don't know why, but I suddenly exploded. I called him a pervert. I said he must have led her on. I said he must have paid her as he's far too old and ugly for her. I called him disgusting and said I want him out of the house. I said he's ruined our daughter's life and plenty of other awful things. So he's confiding in his wife. She's blowing up on him, calling him a pervert, kicking him out of the house, and then jumping over to Reddit for advice.
No.
I stormed out of the house, and when I came back an hour later, he was gone. Over the last couple of days, I've calmed down and since realized he's done nothing wrong, and I've reacted awfully.
Yes.
I've tried ringing and messaging him, but he's not responding. Why did I react like that, and how do I apologize to him? What do we do about these messages? Do we talk to her parents? So there's an edit before the comments. It's 5 a.m. here in the UK now, and I'm going to drive to his brother's house now where he's staying, as I know he leaves for work about 6 a.m. I'm going to try to talk to him face to face. I've got flowers, chocolates, and I'm wearing his favorite outfit. I'll let you all know what happens. Yeah.
We love a self-aware queen.
The commenters went fucking wild. So, commenter 1, he was vulnerable and confided in you, and you treated him like a piece of shit. You're a fucking horrible person, and I hope he leaves your ass. She replied.
She like came around though and
Are you serious? Like 3 days later, she's like, maybe that wasn't the right thing to say.
Oh, I missed the part where it was 3 days later.
He's staying at his brother's house already. He left. She said, I want you out of the house. He said, bye. He's been gone.
I didn't.
To the point, and he's not picking up her phone calls, her messages, to the point where she's going to his brother's at 5 a.m. to check on him. For
some reason, I thought he was the one who went over to her house.
They're married. They are married with kids.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So, you're a fucking horrible person, and I hope he leaves your ass. She replied, I think he will too, be honest, and I don't blame him. I messed up. Commenter says, why has your husband not blocked your number, and why are you assuming that this is his fault? Is it because you're not going to believe your husband of how many years over an 18-year-old child who's coming on to him? You're the assholes. And they have the, like, she even said she read through it and he didn't do anything wrong. So it's like, if you have the proof, why are you coming unglued? He says, or she says, I don't know what came over me. I've never been the jealous or insecure type. I just suddenly got a massive pang of jealousy and I pictured him with a younger, better looking woman and lost it. This is all on me, not him. Oh, so she freaked out because she was jealous of a kid? That's just commenter. You victim blamed your husband. He came to you scared and afraid and you blamed him. He came to you for support and you betrayed him. You're his wife. You're supposed to be his partner. You're supposed to trust him. He's supposed to be able to come to you when times are hard and you betrayed him. You should be ashamed of yourself. He believed in you. I hope he doesn't come back. Instead of talking about speaking to the girl's family, first you should speak with your husband. She says, I've tried to speak to him, but understandably, he doesn't want to speak to me. I don't know why I acted that way. I feel terrible for him. He looked so scared. Commenter 4. Assuming the messages are one-sided, your husband should tell Ava's parents and show the receipts. You fucked up real bad. If you haven't, you already need to 1. Apologize and take ownership of your fuck up. 2. Explain that you don't even understand your own reaction and offer to go to couples therapy. And 3. Offer to go to Ava's parents with him, even if he no longer wants you there. It's likely best for him if you present a united front to the parents.
I mean, yeah, so nobody twists the situation.
For sure.
It's so what threw me, she's like talking about, I got all like distracted and she was like, I got all these things and like I did all these things to like make it up to him. But then like showing up to his brother's house at 5 in the morning just like
Yeah.
went right past me. And so now I'm like realizing that's, and also to be jealous over that is disgusting. Gives me the ick. And it's like, then if you're not on his side as your partner when you have the receipt, like this could go so poorly for him.
And so OP chimes in back about the text. She says they are actually fully one-sided. He said he didn't delete them, so he has evidence in case she said something. And I accused him of keeping them so he could wank off over her pictures.
Ew.
Commenter comes back. You slut-shamed your own husband? What the fuck? Poor guy. As a woman, you should know better. Going out on a limb here, but maybe you should have hugged him and told him you love him? You possibly reacted that way because you don't know how to handle betrayal. But you were betrayed by the daughter's friend, not your husband. The girl is an adult regardless of who she is to your family. She's trying to mess with your husband. Your anger was wildly misplaced. I'm the type to confront, not to get angry, but that's just me. You may have just ruined your marriage and will have to live with it. Even though you didn't mean to, mistakes have consequences. Do you always have a super short fuse? You're going to need a lot of therapy to live a healthy life. Sorry this happened to you. This is a sticky situation. OP says, I've never been jealous or insecure. I don't know what came over me. We've known this girl since she was 5.
Ew.
And for some reason, I blamed my husband, not her. I pictured them together and got an insane surge of jealousy. Someone says, why is OP's husband making cakes? He makes amazing decorative cakes, and her parents asked if he could make her one for her 18th. So not even her parents. Commented, I don't understand why he didn't come to you much sooner. How did he let it progress to nude pics before he said something to you and her parents? OP says, I just started a new job. He knew I was stressed out and didn't want to cause stress, and our daughter's taking exams at the moment. He had no respect. OP had no respect for her husband.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here I'm building all this up because there are updates and they are good.
Oh, juicy.
So final comment from her before the update says, I know I handled this terribly. I've been messaged by loads of younger men on socials and he's always laughed about it and said, you're too gorgeous. They can't resist you. There's a young lad from my gym who added me on Instagram and started liking all my posts and commenting before DMing me, and my husband just laughed and said, I don't think we're at the stage where we need a young man to take over in the bedroom yet. He's just being like a cool, you know what I mean? Like so one-sided. Okay, update July 3rd, 2025. 2 days later.
Oh shit.
So I went round to my husband's brother's yesterday morning at 5:30 to wait for him to leave to work so I could talk to him. I wore his favorite dress of mine, took him chocolate, flowers, and a letter I'd wrote him. The talk went a lot of how you wanted it to go. He told me he's spoken to a lawyer and he wanted a divorce. He said he can't get past what I said, and as soon as he laid eyes on me, he felt nothing but anxiety and the need to run.
Ooh.
He said he'll never get over what I said and how I acted, and that's that. I know I deserve this, but I am still incredibly heartbroken. Last night, he also met up with our daughter and told her everything, and she is also not talking to me and said she's going to go live with her dad when this is over. She also said her friend has been saying for years that she fancies my husband, but thought it was just stupid talk and she wouldn't actually do anything. She's still friends with Ava, but told her she will fall out with her if she does anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on last, I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever. The TLDR, too long didn't read, says, everyone knows now, I'm the bad guy. Ava got away with it, no punishment. Why would Ava have gotten in trouble? She's a legal adult. Sure, she shouldn't have flirted with someone's married, but that's life. It happens. It's going to her parents was going to change absolutely nothing. The girl's 18, you know what I mean? Like, you can do anything at your 18.
Yeah.
He just went there to clear his name in case anything came of it, but the impression he got was that This wasn't even the first time it's happened when he talked to her parents.
Yeah.
And it was completely downvoted. The commenter said, I'm sorry everyone is shitting on you, OP. Try to find a good therapist you can talk out your feelings and why you reacted like that. Then if you still want to be with your husband, try again. She says, I'm already booked to see a therapist about impulse control and anger management. The commenter says, girl, this is a lot. I read the original post and I wonder if your husband has cheated in the past that caused you to say all those things. I'm a bit of a hothead myself and I tend to do and say awful things, but I really wonder why you said all that stuff.
Yeah.
I sympathize with you, I really do. Unfortunately, when men's feelings get hurt, they'll shelter themselves and there's really no return from this. Keep apologizing though and express how much of a dick turd you are. It might save your relationship. Show how remorseful you are. She says, no, he's never cheated. He wouldn't even have a threesome with me and another woman when I offered him. He said he only had eyes for me. Last one. Oh my God, did you really shatter the entire illusion of feeling apologetic by bringing up Ava in the last sentence? The OP says, well, she ruined my marriage.
Okay, that's a
Yeah. So the follow-up is, what do we think, everybody? Did she just ruin her marriage over a moment of insecurity? Should the husband have said something sooner? And seriously, how is Ava not grounded until the hot death of the universe? Are you team forgiveness, team divorce, or team everybody sucks here?
I don't think that the husband did anything wrong.
I'm team divorce, dude. Get away from
I would
that
say
lady.
everybody sucks but the husband. Because
For
like even
sure.
the parents, the other parents suck because they're like, oh, this is the
For sure.
She's done it before. Everybody sucks but the husband. Big props to the husband. You handled it great.
Poor guy too. Like that's why you see
really ruin his whole life.
forever.
His
That's the like
career.
how this is how villains are made kind of thing. Like that dude's never gonna trust again.
Yeah, well,
Like
then
or confide in anyone.
women who are doing that are also making people not believe
In love.
that, and also not believe women who are like, oh, this older man's like coming on to me or whatever.
Oh, for sure. That's usually like a definite. The husband would have been in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is a rare case.
Yeah, and so it's like that is not, either way you look at it, it's not good for either.
100%.
So my next story is a story where people are chiming in about the wildest moment they've ever witnessed, where someone's mouth wrote a check that their ass absolutely couldn't cash.
I love these.
There's some pretty good ones in here. First one starts off with, I was once at a car show and saw a man get in the face and start yelling at another guy in a wheelchair. I have no idea what started this, but after a few seconds of back and forth and standing, the guy put his finger in the face of the wheelchair guy with the, I'm gonna kick your ass body language. Wheelchair guy used his arms to launch himself out of the chair, grabbed the other guy in a headlock, dragged him to the ground, and then just pounded his face in.
Oh my
you don't need your legs to just pound somebody's face in.
Dan gone wild.
Absolutely nobody would do anything to intervene because who's going to put their hands on a paraplegic giving somebody a well-deserved beating? When wheelchair guy was done, he army crawled back to his chair, stood up, crawled in, and just wheeled away slowly like nothing happened.
Gangster.
Yeah. The other guy's face was a mess and had blood streaming down. It took him a while to get up and stumble off. Holy shit. You know, one of the comments made me laugh quite a bit. Man, you never pick a fight with a dude in a wheelchair. If you win, you're the asshole who beat up a guy in a wheelchair.
Fair.
If you lose, you got beat up by a guy in a wheelchair. There's no good outcome here.
Yeah, you're already losing.
Yeah, I look bad. But the other guy, he had to leave in a wheelchair.
You should see the other guy.
Oh, man. Okay, on to our next one. A couple buddies and I finished work at 1 a.m. and went to grab a bite at Waffle House. 4 a.m. at the Waffle House. Have you heard that Daily Bread song? Oh man, we'll have to listen to it. They went to Waffle House. If you haven't been there and you're in the South, you should go. It's open 24 hours. The guy manning the grill that night was a Polynesian gentleman named Isaac, who was about 5'4" in terms of both height and width. Dude was built like a fire hydrant. This person should not be talking about somebody else's body this way. These are not my words. Body's built like a fire hydrant. A drunk couple came in, acting all sloppy, talking shit, making a scene, got booted right as Isaac went to have a smoke break. The guy got in Isaac's face, spit on him, and the entire restaurant got to watch Isaac slowly and methodically take off his apron, fold it up, take off his work shirt, fold it up, turn it back around, and then crumpled the guy. Just completely
like movie style.
Yeah.
Like, he took off his apron, took off his shirt,
taking the time to fold
the
them.
dude's ass.
Yeah.
and then returns.
Yeah, very, like they said, methodically. Like he's folding his clothes.
That's when you should be scared. If
It's
someone's
the
ever
calm
gonna
before the
like,
storm.
if someone like takes that last puff of their cigarette and like slowly puts it out, you're getting your ass whooped.
Exactly. Just like crumpled him up like a piece of paper and threw him in the trash can. Pretty sure that his kids are going to be born with TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, from the genetic memory of being punched in the face so hard. Isaac, not even breathing all that hard, turns back around, unfolds his shirt, puts it on, unfolds his apron, puts it on, and is finishing his cigarette as the cops roll into the haul the guy away.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a movie scene.
That's terrifying. I don't know if I would ever mess with somebody like that. The next story we have is about some bullying. My son was being harassed by a kid who escalated things week by week. Eventually, the bully's older brother had gotten involved and punched my son in the face. So great. Now there's 2 bullies. Smashed his skateboard, which is criminal. It was his favorite thing in the world. The next day, the bully got out of the bus, tried to run away, but my son chased him down, shouted his name, and when the kid turned, my son flew through the air and hit him square in the gut with both feet.
Drop kicked.
Legendary.
Oh my gosh.
Folded the kid in half, knocked the wind out of him, and ended the bullying for good. I wasn't even there. My sister saw the whole thing from her window, said it was ugly, but also one of the most amazing things she had ever seen.
That's when like your dad's supposed to scold you and he like takes you out for ice cream and says like, good job. You know what I mean? Like the father-son moment where he's like, you get him, good boy. You know?
Yeah.
I drop kicked him just like Fortnite, you know? Yeah, you did.
What you said, Dad?
Yeah, exactly. I punched him right in the baby maker. Okay, so this is a story segment where somebody asks Reddit basically, and it's funniest real life stories. And this is all updated, and this is the final cut. So this Reddit thread asked, what's the funniest real life story that you can tell? And honestly, these people have lived through absolute chaos. And I only grabbed 2 of them because these are the ones with the most context, and these ones had over 11,000 likes. So this guy decides to get an STD test after sleeping with a few people just to feel safe. He calls up his older neighbor, basically a big brother figure, and asks like, what do I expect? The neighbor says, oh yeah, they'll swab your junk, maybe a blood test, and you'll probably have to give them a sperm sample. So this guy walks into the clinic a few days later, nervous but prepared. The nurse, an older lady, hands him a clear cup and says, please go in here. He assumes she means do your thing. So he goes into the bathroom and starts rubbing one out with 0 magazines, no phone, nothing. Just pure imagination and shame.
Memory bank.
He finishes in the cup, but then feels weird that it happened too fast. So to avoid being judged, he waits an extra 10 minutes just chilling in the bathroom. Finally, he walks out, hands the nurse the cup of his deposit. She looks down, jiggles the cup and says, sir, we only needed your urine. It's an STD test, dude. His like big brother figures fucking got him. Yeah. Everybody in the comments was like, wait. So he was frozen. His face went red. His legs went weak. And this poor lady is standing there holding a hot cup of awkward. He said it was the most ashamed he's ever been in his entire life. No excuses, just a mortified man and a traumatized nurse. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Oh, this is absolute gold. So this poor kid thought his first day of school would be normal. It was not. Junior year, first day of biology class, the teacher walks in, older guy, wrinkly with a greasy mustache and a twitch in his eye. He looks just like he escaped a haunted carnival. His shirt's only tucked in on one side and the whole room just immediately thinks stranger danger.
Yeah.
He starts taking attendance without making eye contact, just mumbling names. Then he gets to one kid's name, stops mid-word, slowly looks up, scans the room, and locks eyes with him. Then he says, Mr. 102194. I'm glad you're here. How's your family? Is your little sister still playing the piano? Is that model ship still on your dresser? Is your room still blue? Everyone freezes. The kid's face goes white because everything that creepy teacher just said was accurate. Then, with a perfectly calm voice, the teacher says, of course it is. It's only been, what, a week? And casually goes back to roll call. What do you think?
Somebody paid him to say that.
The
That's
next
creepy
day,
as fuck.
the next day, the kid finds out the truth. That crazy teacher, his uncle's best friend, the mustache, the Twitch is calling him Mr. 10912. That was his Twitch user account. So, like, hey, Mr. Death Slayer 39.
Yeah.
So I get any kid's attention by calling them their screen name.
Yeah, sure.
That crazy teacher, his uncle's best friend, the mustache, the Twitch, the outfit, all part of a prank his dad helped set up. The teacher shaved, dressed normal, and acted chill the rest of the year. But for 24 hours, that kid thought he was being hunted by a psychic serial killer. And honestly, that's art.
I would have thought the same thing.
Yeah.
That is a true masterpiece.
Right. And we have a little call to action is whether you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, we want to hear your funniest real life stories and we want to read it on our podcast. So find us, send it in the ether, just get it out there. We will find it.
Email us, drop it in our DMs.
Our email is squirrel@ajhdpodcast.com.
For my next story, we have a post from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for crop dusting? We'll get into it. 23 female, was at a concert with some friends. While we were standing around between sets, my stomach started hurting. I think we've all been. I didn't get a chance to think about it before, but I let out a noxious fart. I immediately, I love the way she describes it. I immediately panic as my friends around me start to smell it. Whatever you're thinking smell-wise, it was way worse. Here's where I could be the asshole. Everyone assumed that one of the strangers that had walked by had crop dusted us, and I just didn't correct them. So, am I the asshole for letting my friends think some stranger crop dusted us with a heinous fart when it was actually me?
You don't deny a gift from God. That was a gift.
No, your guardian angels were looking out for you.
Absolutely.
You're never going to see that person again.
No. Especially like when they say like the smell, like, when you're like, oh, I think I'm sick.
Yeah.
Like those kind of farts. Yeah. Like you don't want to be associated with that. Like your friends are going to be like, there she is looking all great in her at the gala, but I've smelled that bitch's fart.
Yeah, her booty smells like rotten eggs, but she's a 10. She's a 10, but her booty smells like rotten eggs.
Is that sulfur?
Okay, the comments on this one were pure gold. People came out with their own fart crime stories like it was a confessional. One person said they once convinced their family it was a swampy road causing the stink. Another described an entire lactose intolerance meltdown on a Mississippi road where they blamed the entire state for their silent but deadly emissions.
Mississippi smell like shit.
Yeah. You've got one commenter offering to pitch us a Hallmark Christmas rom-com starring Steve Buscemi and Roseanne Barr, because why not? And somehow this all turned into a surprisingly sweet moment about true love, lactose-induced suffering, and the importance of knowing which gas station has the best bathroom.
That's fair.
Always got to keep that lactate on you. Update.
Okay.
Glad to know I'm not the asshole. Just to add some context and let you guys know why I was so mortified. I was there with 3 friends. There's air quotes around friends if you're not watching. Only one of them was a close friend. The other was an acquaintance and the other I had just met 15 minutes earlier. After a few days, I showed my close friend this post and we had a great laugh about it. So what do you think, listeners? Am I the asshole for not confessing the crop dusting, or is that just a smart social survival? And more importantly, have you ever let somebody else take the fart blame? If you feel inclined to, send us your most embarrassing stories. We want to hear them all.
Don't send the actual fart noises.
No.
But
we don't accept voice memo recording.
Well, crop dustings are also silent too. So
hey, I mean, you don't know it was a concert.
That's true.
Could have been the trumpets
farted to the.
She's at High Step Society. Okay, cute.
All right, so before I do my next story, we actually have a quick update from last week's story. If you remember, the title was, I think a coworker is stalking me. It started with small talk. Now I see him outside my dance studio.
Very creepy.
Yeah. So here's a second update. I was told that my post may have already been used in a YouTube video. So someone wanted to comment on this. I've read the comments and they're right. I posted in a public space and people are free to interpret it or use it however they want. I'm not upset. I was overwhelmed and never meant to draw attention to myself. That's why I wrote that. Going forward, if you ever decide to share this story, I trust that your intentions are genuine, and ours are, I promise. That's why we're updating. So just to clarify, there were no air tags found. It actually turned out to be a land, air, sea, and calendar sync exploit. So her phone was just kind of like going off like, hey, you gotta go. It's just being weird. So please stay safe and check your stuff. Also, I'm safe. I've taken steps. I've left the job. He was fired. Thank you to those who've checked in and sent the kind messages. It meant more than you know. As for the scrunchy thief update from last week, there hasn't been one scrunchie stolen, but they did close the story. So
resolved.
Reddit has considered it gone.
That was a wild one, you guys. If you didn't listen to our episode last week, you should definitely
absolutely
tune in. That
was our first episode too. We went right in. Okay, so here's a quick story, and it's called Horrible House Guests. And it's so our roommate moved in with his 2 boys. We were hesitant, but he was in a tough spot and we had the space. At first it was fine. The kids were loud, but we expected that. So this is already really nice. Letting like someone and their 2 kids come into your home, like
that is very considerate. Your home is a safe
that's my space. Yeah. Then I started noticing weird smells. I found pee in the laundry basket, thought maybe the dog. But nope, it turns out the boys were just peeing wherever they wanted. Couches, corners, even on our dog's bed. We had a serious talk and he said he'd handle it. He didn't. A week later, I found pee in the kitchen drawer. A drawer. We gave him a 30-day notice. He cried and begged, but we're done. Reddit, am I the asshole for kicking my friend out? I feel awful, but I'm also furious. So the top comment was pretty obvious. You're not their landlord. You're their janitor at this point. So it's totally fair to protect your own sanity and space. So someone said, this isn't potty training. This is full on psychological warfare. Yeah. Peeing on like there's a difference between like bedwetting and it makes me wonder like what kind of upbringing or neglect to where these kids like are like, oh, I gotta pee, like never the toilet anywhere but the toilet.
Yeah, neglect came to mind, but also like outdoorsy. Do they go hiking and camping a lot? And then
we had one of my cousins, he's like 30 something now, but when I was younger he was like 3. The dude would just go and piss off the front porch. Guess where he was from? Oregon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He grew up in Corvallis.
That checks out.
Riding horses and shit. Where do you pee?
Yeah,
off your front porch. Yeah. But and pants all the way down to his ankles. You know what I mean? So question for the audience, what would you do if your roommate's kids started doing this in your house? Is it cruel to evict someone over their kid's behavior, or is it about protecting your boundary? I mean that's like they go hand in hand. Like if your kid's behavior is bad, it's messing with your boundaries.
Well, and also I'm sure they've communicated like, hey, you need to fix this. And if they're not fixing it, then like you've done your part.
We want to know if anyone has ever lived with someone whose lifestyle clashed with yours on this level. I don't even know if this was a lifestyle. This is like just pure nastiness.
Yeah. Up next, we have a story titled The Suspicious Death of Noah Pressgrove. I feel like I should put in a little trigger warning. This gets in a little to the true crime area.
Yes, this is very on the serious side of
tragic. Very sad. This one is different. This one isn't just wild or poetic justice. It's tragic, it's confusing, and it's still currently unresolved. It's the story of Noah Pressgrove, a 19-year-old from Comanche, Oklahoma, whose mysterious death over Labor Day weekend in 2023. So not crazy long ago. It's left more questions than answers, and it's going to be a few minutes, but we've summarized it. We haven't left out any like pertinent details or anything. Backstory on Noah: he was a 4-sport athlete, funny, charming, a bit of a ladies' man. He just graduated from high school and was planning to enlist in the Marines along with his cousin. That weekend, he had 2 choices. He could attend Rocklahoma with the family or go to a birthday bash for a friend turning 22. He chose the party.
Of course. Rocklahoma sounds so. I was like, well, hell yeah.
I was going to say, note to self, look up a Rocklahoma afterwards. Don't worry, we'll let you know next week what Rocklahoma is. The party was advertised on Snapchat. People were drinking, partying, and filming everything, as you do at that age. At one point, Noah left to go home, but returned later. From there, after his return, things got a little chaotic. 2 confrontations, one with a friend over a girlfriend, and another with a 16-year-old that turned into a physical altercation. Video showed Noah getting drawings and writing on his body, party jokes, like when you fall asleep with your shoes on and it's fair game to draw on you with Sharpie. There was drinking games, even a ride on ATV where he scraped his hand. Someone's mom at the party told Noah's family she thought he wanted her sexually. It was weird. Then around 2 a.m. Monday, things took a dark turn. Upset after being told he couldn't sleep in a bed, Noah allegedly decided to go for a walk. Drunk, wearing someone else's short, mismatched shoes, and no shirt. Around 3:41 a.m., someone posted on a Snapchat saying, "Well, Noah's missing." Hours later, a trucker found his body on the side of a major highway.
Wait, what?
Noah was naked, curled in the fetal position with trauma to the back of the head, shredded fingertips, broken ribs, missing teeth, serious internal injuries as well. The girls at the party said they gave him a shower, but when his body was found, none of the marker drawings were visible anymore. No blood at the scene. His shorts were folded next to him, and all the party goers wiped their phones. One even denied knowing Noah despite being in conflict with him earlier that night.
This is insane.
Well, wiping your phones is such like a suspicious thing.
It's like a
to do.
group too. Okay.
The police didn't search the house because he wasn't found there, but a geofence warrant showed 2 phones left at the house and traveled to where Noah's body was found and then returned. Yet the story was, we didn't know he was missing.
This is deep.
Suspicious that people were pinged going there. There's even a claim that Noah's shirt was cut up and distributed like souvenirs and that someone picked up Noah's teeth. Accidentally. Noah's clothing. Yeah, accidentally. Okay. Accidentally on purpose. Noah's clothing was never found. His family hired a private investigator who uncovered new info and passed it to police. There's even a claim that Noah's shirt was cut up and distributed like souvenirs, that someone picked up Noah's teeth accidentally. Noah's clothing was never found. His family hired a private investigator who uncovered new info and passed it along to the police. Now we have the autopsy. Fast forward to, we're now in May 2024. Multiple blunt force injuries, 10 broken ribs, skull, spine, and neck fractures, brain damage, organ damage, air in the cranial cavity. This was not a hit and run, according to officials, but they're also not calling it a murder.
Smells like cover up almost. Like
the family says the house smelled like bleach the next day. Partygoers have never visited or expressed any condolences whatsoever, which while people grieve in different ways, that is a little suspect.
Extremely.
The investigation continues, but the more details come out, the more disturbing the story becomes. So what happened to Noah? Was this a drunken accident, a cover-up, or something darker? One thing's clear, someone at the party knows what really happened, and so far, nobody's talking. Noah's family is holding on to hope that time, pressure, or guilt will eventually bring answers. Until then, all we can do is ask the question and make sure the story doesn't fade away. To Noah's loved ones, your fight for the truth is being heard. To everyone listening, what do you guys think happened that night? Do you believe it was just a tragic accident or somebody hiding the truth? We have a few updates on the case. Since this story originally gained attention, a wrongful death lawsuit has been filed against several of Noah's friends who were at the party. The family attorney alleges that at least 2 of them conspired to beat Noah, resulting in fatal injuries outlined in his autopsy report. While state police have not classified this as a murder, the sheriff overseeing the case said Noah's death doesn't sit well with him, and he expects the truth to become clear as evidence is uncovered. The lawsuit is also seen as a way to legally pressure those involved into disclosing what really happened that night.
Civil case.
Yeah. Whether Noah was attacked and left for dead or somehow wandered off fatally injured, the case remains open and unresolved, but not forgotten. Why this story matters. Not every story we tell ends with a twist or a clean resolution. Sometimes the point of sharing these stories is to keep the conversation alive, to apply pressure, to raise awareness, and to remind people that justice doesn't always happen on its own. The more people who hear Noah's story, the harder it becomes for the truth to stay buried. We share it not just for the mystery, but for the movement, for the family, and for anyone who's listening who's ever been told just to move on when moving on isn't an option until answers come. It's so true there. I mean, especially with advances in technology that keep keep coming. There are cold cases that are 30, 40, DNA. 50 years old that are...
They can take DNA off a hat from 40 years ago type. And it's crazy that back then they had the sense to think, well, we can't do it now, but what about the future? Because like, I wouldn't think like that. Future me doesn't plan very well.
No. And a lot of times there are a lot of special agents that will get assigned to like specific cold cases to kind of dig into them. But with it being so recent and technology, how it is these days, I mean...
The whole fact that nobody knew anything and it always smells like bleach, like how, like, incompetent or like they need more evidence before, like, what the fuck?
Somebody out there has to have those videos from Snapchat, you know what I mean? There's gotta be... I wonder if there's
For sure. This story almost like I actually had to look it up to make sure it wasn't like somebody using a fake name to describe a story. There's a guy and a story now here in Oregon called his name is Michael Bryson, and he
Yeah.
went missing in 2020.
Yeah.
Um, my ex-girlfriend and friends, like everybody knew him. Like
Yeah.
everybody knew this guy, and that hat over there, I saw a picture and he was wearing it. And I'm like, how did that guy that I don't know get that hat out of my house to wear it? One of my homegirls I let borrow for one night let him wear it. And then he went missing, and the only photo they used in the missing photo was the one of him wearing my hat. I haven't put the hat on really since. It's kind of like, I don't know, and Michael Bryson's still missing.
Yeah.
Everybody he went up to a party at a campground, nobody knows shit. All the phones were wiped and nobody said anything to this day. It's heartbreaking.
It's what happens when people get
Missing and just
get fucked up and something happens at a party and then they all have to agree to like
right. Well,
keep it quiet. Have you ever seen the movie Jawbreaker?
for sure. Oh my, it's been so long.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Shit
And I
happens.
looked up Noah. If you guys are out there, look up Noah Pesgrove. The dude looks like a 4-star athlete. He looks like, oh, like if they were like, oh, he's prom king, you'd be like, of course he was.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look like the type to be picked on unless it was like an older kid, younger kid thing. Because usually those, I don't know.
Yeah, or yeah, I don't know. It's wild. We really feel for the family and friends and loved ones of Noah and hope that they get some justice from this.
And we'll keep the updates coming. I check these stories daily almost. So, all right. So here we go. This is a petty revenge, and it's titled Neighbor Parked in My Driveway, So I Left Town. My neighbor kept parking in my driveway. I asked him not to, multiple times. Every time he'd brush it off with, it's just for a sec, like that excused anything. My driveway, not his. Every time I'd come home to find his car there again. It was beyond frustrating. So last Friday, I got home and surprise, there he was, parked right in my spot again. But this time was different. I was about to head out of town for the weekend, so I calmly parked right behind him, blocking him in completely. Locked up, grabbed my stuff, and left. A few hours later, I get a bunch of missed calls and a text that said, dude, what the fuck? I didn't answer. This like slow cooked version of a mic drop. So the best part, when I finally got back, he was standing outside his car, arms crossed like he expected an apology. I just waved and said, relaxed. I was only gone for a sec. Then I went inside. That's savage.
He's gangster.
Later that night, I texted him back just 2 words. LOL. Back. His response, a middle finger emoji. That was it. No apology, no explanation, just that. He hasn't parked in my driveway since. So basically, he had time to sit with his consequences, and that's all he needed. My opinion is the follow-up text kind of killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't mic drop and then kick it across the floor an hour later.
Yeah.
Like she should have she got him.
Yeah.
Some of the comments actually suggested even pettier revenge, like calling a tow truck, letting air out of the tires, or installing a camera with motion alerts and a sprinkler trap, which I've seen those on like TikToks. It's hilarious. But honestly, this was enough. I didn't need the drama. I needed a point to be made. The point was made. And just for the record, no damage, no threats, just some time, space, and a whole weekend for him to think about what just for a sec actually costs. It says, chef's kiss, nothing hits like poetic pettiness. Let's be honest, what would you guys do here? Would you tow the car? Would fill the tires with glitter? Like, well, I would probably, I would be a little bit scared that they would, tow my car. You know what I mean?
I know. Getting your car towed sucks.
It does.
I wouldn't mess with towing the car. I also wouldn't damage the car in any way, but I would do something really annoying somehow.
For sure. I actually I agree with this. I like the story, I like the petty, but when I was actually writing this, I have an opinion. I wrote, I'm so bad about that because I don't park in other people's spots.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm downtown, I am parking wherever there is space.
Mm-hmm.
And this also I've done Uber Eats too, so this isn't just me driving around being a full asshole. But an example is if I hit the dispensary, there's a quarter of the block that's for the restaurant and hotel drop off. It's right over here at Jake's. They just have that.
I know exactly.
It's a quarter of the block.
Yeah.
And it's always open. So I'll park there, go get my herbal, and then I'll leave. And I haven't been caught yet, but I know I'm asking for it. By doing that. I know Like, that dude should know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he knew, like, if I go out and get my car towed, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm so surprised.
This is
I'm
what
going to
you
be like,
signed up for.
I signed up for it. You know what I
Play
mean?
stupid games, win stupid
Exactly.
prizes.
And so far I'm winning, but I
Yeah.
know that, you know, the time is coming.
Better be careful, bro.
It ends with driveway drama, baby. It's suburbia's unsanctioned battle royale.
Yeah, that's it. Next up, we have I had a Hobbit themed birthday, so I could see people's feet. I recently watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy and loved it. Great movies. My birthday was coming up, so I told my girlfriend a Shire birthday would be fun, meaning everybody dresses up like a Hobbit. It's funny, we've had quite a few Lord of the Rings
already.
references here already. I do like the aesthetic and vibe, but truly the main reason was the idea of seeing our mutual friends' bare feet. Do you think he shopped for all the party stuff at that one from last week? It was that like elvish store.
That's what I was just in, where the guy got the petty revenge.
Yeah. A couple people wore socks, but most didn't. Clocked the socks right away. One drew hair on her feet, which I didn't care for.
I don't like it.
He put in a shrugging emoji. Still appreciate it and saw a lot of beautiful feet. This was a few months ago. We do have an edit. Shout out to the woman who sent me feet pics or promos. However, I am in a committed relationship and won't be replying. So you won't reply to women who send you feet pics, but you will throw a party to look at all of your friends.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously this guy is a little bit off already.
The comment was a war zone. Some called it the boldest confession they've ever seen and praised the honesty, if not the ethic. The comment was, now this is a confession. They're very hyped on seeing this. Others were deeply creeped out, calling it a violation of trust and comparing it to inviting people to a bikini party just to perv. Yeah, that's very weird behavior. Many fixated on the issue of consent, saying friends shouldn't be unknowingly a part of someone's fetish.
Bingo.
But overwhelmingly, the vibe was, this is not okay, and now we feel weird about Hobbit. Would you feel violated if you found out a friend threw a party just to see your feet? And where is the line between a quirky themed party and something that feels exploited?
I do not want to be a part of anybody's spank bank, especially foot-wise.
Yeah. One of the comments that stood out to me was, I'm glad you had your Hobbit party, but I'm also glad I'm not your friend. Another commenter said, I wasn't sure where this was going. Someone replies, this went exactly how I thought it would. Another person replies, did you not read the title?
Right.
And then my comment on this is, no feet for free.
Gotta pay to play.
Go to Feet Finder or Sniffer, whatever float you.
They walk in and he hands them a cover to like a $5.
Yeah, I'm here for the feet.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Thank you for coming to my foot party.
yeah. If somebody told me ahead of time, was like, here's a situation, so they gave me time to think about it. But if I found out my friend was throwing a Hobbit party so they could look at my feet.
Because you wouldn't, you'd be like, oh, hell yeah, Hobbit party. Because Lord of the Rings.
I would be the one coming with dirty feet.
The hair. The hair.
That was.
Did you have a mustache on your foot?
Mm-hmm. It was all like fake mustaches on my feet.
So there you have it. From driveway wars to DNA disasters, today's stories reminded us that the internet is undefeated and so is human stupidity.
I honestly don't know who needs the therapy more, the people in these stories or us for reading them.
For reals. Do you have a personal story that rivals this chaos? Send it to us at squirrel@ajhdpodcast.com. Drop it in our DMs on Instagram, which is AJHD Podcast, and you're likely to get it read on air.
Hit the DMs.
Until next time, do not block driveways, don't fake a pregnancy, and for the love of science, don't surprise anyone with DNA kits.